Last year was supposed to be the death of the All-Star game. Coach Michael Malone said, "This is the worst basketball game ever played." And fans agreed. It was the lowest rated All-Star game in its 72-year history. So the NBA planned to fix it. They got rid of the playground-style picking teams back to East-West. Killed the long player intros and the 30-minute halftime show. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver admitted they went too far and said, "I think we're going to see a good game tomorrow night." It was the worst All-Star game of all time. Bill Simmons speaks for us all. It's funny we spend so much time on All-Star starters and snubs, and the game always sucks. The commissioner was visibly upset after the East scored a record 211 points.
You scored the most points. Well, congratulations.
Well, you. The game didn't used to be like this. The day the All-Star game died can be traced back to one moment, and it might explain how to actually fix it. The first All-Star game was in 1951, featuring a ton of white guys, but at least they played defense. In 1972, they still played defense, and Jerry West, the logo, was guarded by Walt Frazier with 5 seconds left. Fans loved seeing the best players compete against each other, so it became the most watched regular season game every year. A modern classic was 03, Michael Jordan's final All-Star. In OT, tied at 136, Sean Marion all over MJ, who hits the perfect game winner. If not for young Kobe Bryant. Jermaine O'Neal stupidly fouls Kobe on a three-pointer, so Michael trash talks Kobe at the free throw line, and he missed, but the West won in double OT. But Kobe was the trash-talking vet in 2012. Going for a layup, Dwayne Wade breaks his nose and is called for a flagrant foul in the All-Star game. But Kobe stayed on the court, guarding LeBron in the final seconds, who passes up the last shot. He then gets it back and passes again. Kobe says to LeBron's face, "Shoot the ball." That is what All-Star used to be. So when did it fall off? Well, team scores had been on the rise for years, but in 2016 it got ridiculous when the West scored 196. The next year, both teams combined for a record 374. Something had to be done. So to try and save the All-Star game, the NBA announced they would switch to a playground-style draft format. Team LeBron and Team Steph picked the rosters. It was a nice tweak, but the game still sucked. So in 2020, a change that worked, the Elam ending. The fourth quarter had no clock, just a target score. LeBron goes for the layup, blocked by Giannis. Then Kyle Lowry takes a charge to force the turnover. The pressure was so high, AD missed the game-winning free throw, but sank the next one to end it. Unfortunately, the Elam ending also lost momentum, and we haven't had a good game since. So what happened? Some people say Steph Curry ruined All-Star because the game officially broke around 2015-16 when Steph got real popular. This graph from Neil Payne shows the average NBA regular season score on the dotted line. All-Star team scores are in red and yellow. It's always been above average, but then bam, it got out of hand around 2015-16. Why? Because of three-point shooting. This graph from Tom Ziller shows three-pointers took off, and at the same time, All-Star fouls went down. They spiked in 2020 with that good Elam ending game, but then back down to almost zero. It's a lot easier to play defense when the game is played inside the paint, but if everyone's doing a Steph Curry impression, you just stand around and watch. But it's not Steph's fault. Something else happened at that same time that had a bigger impact than even threes. One big complaint from players is injury. AD said obviously everyone wants it to be competitive, but then you're not trying to get hurt. I mean, do you really want somebody to go up for a dunk, somebody going to contest him, and God forbid something happens in the All-Star game? He's right. But hasn't that always been true and games were good? Was there one big injury that scared everyone? No. The answer, like always, is follow the money. The average NBA salary in 1990 was $1.9 million. Now, It's 9.7 million, but that's nothing compared to the stars. In 1990, nobody made over 10 million a year. Role players get that now. We got stars making almost 80 million in 1 year at the end of their deal. How did the contracts get so big? Well, the NBA makes money from several sources. Game day revenue, like ticket sales and beer, sponsorships like jersey patches, merchandise like jerseys, but the biggest chunk is TV money. The first big deal was 98. The NBA signed with NBC and TNT for $2.6 billion over 4 years. They then signed 6 years for $4.6 billion, and in 07, $7.4 billion. But then all of a sudden, in 2014, the NBA re-upped for 9 years, $24 billion. That jump looks like this. Small jump, gigantic skyscraper. Overnight, role players got paid like stars and superstars got paid like the king of some small European country. Now, if they get hurt in the All-Star game, they are risking a ridiculous fortune. But why did the NBA get so valuable overnight? Because sports are one of the last things that people watch live on TV. These networks are slowly dying and need sports to stay alive. So all sports are more valuable, and every All-Star game is now bad, not just the NBA. Look at this graph from Tom Habistro of all major American sports All-Star games. All the ratings have been down since the mid-90s. At the same time, average salaries in these sports went way up. So to battle this, they have all made tweaks that have all failed. Now the NFL replaced their All-Star game with flag football and dodgeball. I'm not joking. The NHL has split their All-Stars into 4 teams in a 3-on-3 tournament. MLS invited Arsenal over to smoke their All-Stars just for entertainment. In baseball, injuries aren't big of a risk, but every sport has this problem. How do you fix it? Well, Bill Simmons says the 3-point line is the problem, so get rid of it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander thinks guys will play defense if they get paid like the in-season tournament. I think USA versus the world would be awesome. The last 5 MVPs were born outside America, and the USA could prove we're still #1. Then I saw the next NBA TV deal. 9 years, $75 billion. That old skyscraper about to look like a cute little high-rise. Nothing will ever save the All-Star game. It's just a different world with how much players have to lose. All those moments from back in the day are never coming back. I predict the NBA officially ends the All-Star game like the NFL after the next media deal is signed. So 2016 is the year the game died, and it is never coming back. But regular games are about to be back, and I am really interested in the Warriors' final stretch. Klay Thompson got benched right before the break. He played great in that one game, but now the Dubs have a whole new problem to worry about.